So, just kind of going back then, how did you originally get involved with Adult Swim?
I have a high forehead. They needed people that they could glue horns on.
Okay.
That's it. And I just, I'm a bullshitter. So I mean, I cast for Kelly, the guy that does that with Dave Willis, and that was no money project. I mean, it was like 6 episodes on season one, and in fact, I'm the first demon you see, which is really nice.
Hmm.
And I made friends with them, and then when Too Many Cooks took off, I all of a sudden they're giving me lines on Your Pretty Face,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
some nice little spots. I'm not star of the show. Henry and Matt Servito is a great actor. The man
Hmm.
that plays the devil, he is terrific, and he's taught me a lot. But yeah, I'm just there to provide color, I guess you'd call it,
Yeah.
like a color commentator on a football game.
So, how long did you have to sit in the makeup chair for your pretty face?
Realistically, if I did it all by myself, I would probably be there 45 minutes to an hour. But they run an assembly line. A gentleman by the name of Shane Morton and his partner Chris Brown.
Hmm.
There's a lot of demons, including the stars of the show. So they sort of like run an assembly line where they run you through and you get painted, and then you move on to the next associate. Well, actually, get your horns on first, and then you get painted, and then you get your shirt on, and so on and so forth. So it's a well-oiled machine. So typically, I'm probably there 45 minutes, but a lot of the time I'm just social interacting
Yeah.
or hitting crafty with the two.
So, I don't know, what's the environment like working at Adult Swim? It seems like they give their creative teams, a lot of leeway to kind of have free reign to do what they want to make things more unique.
You are 100% accurate. Um, the only thing they do is they will record multiple versions to see what they can get past the censor.
Okay.
So so yeah, they have a lot of freedom to do. Um, um, my memory's gone. I can't remember his name now. The executive vice president. We did season one of Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell, 6 episodes, and it sat for a while before they decided to greenlight it.
Hmm.
So when they greenlighted it, the executive vice president who runs Adult Swim has a penthouse on top of an old hotel kind of thing, and they got me and one of the producers to dress in a diaper with a pin. I show up at these guys' door with my long beard and a shepherd's crook, and I knock at the door, and my line is, "I am Baby New Year from 2013, and my time is up." And so is season one of Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. Then the other producer knocks me over and stands there. He's baby looking, really baby looking. And he says, "And I'm Baby New Year 2014," and hands Mike Laszlo, the vice president, 6 episodes written in a script. So yeah, they're crazy. Lots of fun.
Oh, well, I mean, that's got to build like such a great sense of community and culture there. You know what I mean? Like if because like if you're willing to do that for someone dressed like a baby, I mean, it just I don't know, it's just amazing what they're willing to do for you and how they're willing to kind of let you be yourself.
They're a family almost. Although sadly, I think all good things come to an end. And what I'm seeing is AT&T
Hmm.
bought Warner. Warner owns Turner. Turner owns Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network owns Adult Swim.
Right.
AT&T also owns HBO. So on a parallel level, HBO says, "I'm the big boy and I'm going to control all live TV." So I think what we're going to see is Adult Swim cornered down into more exclusively on animated stuff.
Hmm.
And HBO may take off on more risky, like they did the HBO's Watchmen and a few other things. That's where I think it's going. But it's just my opinion, hanging around the edge and watching.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, like that would definitely be both a good and a bad thing because HBO, for the powerhouse that they are, their shows are top notch. They have a great creative team,
Oh, yes, they are.
and like Adult Swim, they allow their writers, their actors, their directors to kind of do their own thing. Primarily with like a show like Watchmen, right? They could
Yes,
have made that show just another cookie cutter, superhero show, something that would have definitely, had a lot of like merch sales, but they decided to take it in a very different, very I don't necessarily want to say political direction though. They like the politics of that show was done so well. Did you get a chance to watch
yes,
the season?
yes. I was in it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Some actors don't like to, sit down and watch all the stuff that they're in.
No, I actually, that's what I do watch. I make sure I watch everything that I'm in. The the HBO show filmed right here, 5 miles from my house,
Hmm.
in the episode where they had the support group meeting.
Okay.
So I knew who was casting the extras, and they looked for a mature couple. So I says, "Hey, Jude, you want my wife?" I says, "You want to go work with Tim Blake Nelson and Paula Malcolmson?" She says, "Sure." So we were part of that support group meeting, um, and I get there, and they tell us at the end. You ever been to an AA meeting? You have a serenity prayer that you all hold hands and
Hmm.
say at the end. They says, "You guys are going to recite this prayer out loud." And I look, and there's four other day players, actors in Atlanta I know, that they're doing the same thing I'm doing as an extra. So I go ask the assistant director. I says, "Are we getting paid for this?" And they said, "No, they're not going to pay." I says, "Oh, okay." So we did it, and we recited their little prayer. It was, "We know this is not the only dimension there is, but it's the dimension we choose to live in, and we will not live in fear."
Hmm.
I'm a union man, long SAG after. I called, and they says, "Yeah, you got a case." I found me, my wife, and the two other young extras who are best friends with me now, all got paid scale for that day.
Good.
Took about 6 months. The reason I know about HBO having control, when I talked to the attorneys or the union people that handled it in Miami, they're telling me these HBO lawyers are the same people that handled a case they had with Adult Swim with a show called Tropical Cocktails, which I worked the pilot on, but
Okay.
I didn't work the series. I got killed in the pilot. But at any rate, so yeah, that's how I put together the HBO Adult Swim control thing. But anyway, it's a great little scene. I enjoyed it. You can't hardly see me. If you know anything about shooting, they dirtied the shot with me where they're behind my ear and I'm the profile that they're looking at. But
Okay.
it
Okay.
was
Yeah. Yeah.
fun. I enjoyed it. I thought the show was terrific, and I'm so pissed that there's not a season two. I wanted to see a season two. I
Yeah.
wanted to see her, spoiler alert, walk on water.
Yeah, I was. I don't. You know what? I'm holding off hope that there's going to be a season two, just because HBO tends to take like 2 to 3 years off between seasons sometimes. So I'm hoping that they just make it seem like it's going to be, done for a year, year and a half later. They end up green lighting it, for a 3 year return,
Good
because
plan.
I don't know. That's another thing I do like about HBO is they take the time to develop their programming correctly, primarily in the writing stages. Um,
Yes.
you got to. I don't know. I feel like on a lot of TV shows, and mind you, we are living in a golden age of TV. There's so much content out there these days. But yeah, just with so much like reality programming and such, writing oftentimes is put second best, and I always think that's a shame.
I understand. But I have had, I've always been impressed working on any HBO project.
Yeah.
I've always been impressed. DMZ was an HBO project. The Demilitarized Zone. Yeah.
And now does that project have a release date yet, or is it still in post production?
I believe it's going to release later this year with the pilot. Now, whether they decide to turn it into a limited series, I don't know. Because it's got a lot of room to expand. The storyline can just go anywhere,
Oh yeah, yeah.
sort of like, yeah. So, and yeah, I'm sure a lot of it will depend upon the numbers, what they get back as far as viewers go.
Well, that and I don't know. Like, I think that has a potential of being something that would, not only take off as a pilot, but could also lead to a show as well. Because, I mean, just in today's political environment, primarily releasing it as an election year, you can get a lot of passionate people from both sides of the aisle to kind of sit down and, watch that show. But that also gives, you folks at the show, if it does take off, the opportunity to kind of mend those two sides to try and find a middle ground and try and reestablish collective values, because I feel personally that's the biggest problem with the left and the right, is that we can no longer have a middle ground of just basic ideal humanity that we can associate to anymore. And when political differences become moral differences, that's when some of the biggest divisions become apparent.
You are 100% correct.